My name is Denny Rosiska. I'm a TiP Community Lab Manager at TelU University Indonesia. I'm happy to be here to contribute to the Aura ICO Academy for a sharing session, especially on practice session that enables participants to access our end-to-end lab equipment. And just to refresh, this kind of training, this TLP, the training of trainers that I hope by following this training, then the participants here today can relay the benefit to the community in the Philippines for doing sharing session, training session. I just have a conversation with GM. Terahertz is one of the community that doing such a good job on sharing session. Hopefully, this session also can give benefit to Terahertz and other community like universities and so on in the Philippines. So this is my short profile. Previously, I started from field engineer doing drive tests and then optimization, and I have experience for management domain being project manager, but actually my passion is coaching, enabling the teams, and it brings me to the IT lab manager because the vision is to to give benefits to the community, not only keep the knowledge and certain personas or organization. So it makes my passion that what we have from our experience, what we have from the community, we want to make it can be also experienced to the wider community. So that's my problem. Yeah, so now we have ON stands for Open Network. It's our tagline, epitome and embodiment of the IP Community Lab at Telkom University in promoting network infrastructure in openness. So starting from now, we will have this logo for our program. Yeah. So for example, last month we have one program, we call it TiP on events. Yeah, so under our new logo, we have new sub-programs. We call it on events on 11 and 12 June. And I would like to share the summary of the program. So this is our TiP Lab team. And this is the partners that contribute on the events. This is the events gate. We see Paulia, Muammar also here, Brian Pran, and another lab team together with me. If so far you can only see me on a close-up mode, you can see me here. And this is the participants, the visitors is coming from the ICT, from ICT Ministry of Indonesia, and also the biggest telco group in Indonesia, which is Telkom Group. We have 3 lab rooms here. Hopefully someday you can also visit us here. We have 3 rooms categorized for access transport, core, and also OCP, Open Compute Project for data center. So we will show to the community. And also, we also involve the Telkom University Research Center to have their solution in the showcase. We also feature this event with Tech Talk in offline and online session. And on the second day, we have another MNOs, startup, private sector, educators, and also students. So this is the picture of the exhibition. Some pictures from Red Hat, from Seragon, from SI Tegros, and then SI Local Telkom Infra. And we also very happy to host our fellow students as our community here. For sure, the way we deliver the understanding the message is different. We deliver it with MNO. We deliver it in an easy way, friendly, fun. We have quiz and prizes to them to introduce the open network solution. And we also have add-ons program on these events. That is free training session. And the trainers is not only from the professionals. It comes from the exhibitors, from our lab team, from lecturer, and even from students. So it's kind of to students train. Okay, so starting for now for this training, I will use this logo as our sub-program, TiP on training. Beside TiP on events, now we have TiP on training. So we have a t-shirt as our merchandise. Actually, today I can offering one this of t-shirt for who can join me on this training session. Okay, we have top session number 1, run basic monitoring. It is done on 27th of July, and today we will have run inventory report as our continuation of the program. The methodology is still the same, hands-on practice, learning, then you must teaching. Okay, just for refresh, we deliver this training via VPN, 30% theory and 70% practice. This is our network elements, just for refreshing. And this is the explanation about the common architecture and special purpose architecture by the vendor we are using on this training. Okay, this is identifying the color of indication of the equipment. We already explained this on the previous session. And we are here on the comment number 15 on last session. GM, could you please join me on this session, please? Because
okay,
I think
sure.
Today not much participant that I can choose.
Yeah, I think I got in, so I think the credentials are still valid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
The CLI syntax are in the PowerPoint, the one
yes,
Maria sent. Okay.
yeah, all is the PowerPoint. So before you start to join me, yeah, GM, I would like to explain some slides. So yesterday we are on the comment number 15. Now we are talking about inventory report. I would like to ask you, GM, later on to explain why inventory report is important, because it is actually just a small thing, collecting the data about the equipment. But why it is important, the inventory data? In another vendor, maybe you can get it in a easier way. Just open the graphical user interface, open the inventory menu, then you can grab all the inventory. But the emphasis of this slide is we would like to tell what is the importance of inventory data. Inventory data contains a variety of data of such as node name, software version, date of creation, serial number, data capabilities, power band, antenna mode, and etc. Why it is become important? Because it can be a source or data to facilitate network asset management. where there are thousands of inode B that need to be managed. I mean, when you deal with a thousand of sites, you need to know the capability of equipment that we have in the network. How many percent that supports, let's say, 10 megahertz in maximum? How many equipment that supports up to 20 megahertz of LTE bandwidth? And from there, you can get the figure. Let's say, if you are working in MNO and you have VIP visit coming from MNO BOD, from the ICT ministry, maybe come to some area at your network, and they expect they can get high throughput as shown on TV commercial and so on, but they experience the difference because the throughput is stuck on certain numbers as the maximum throughput. For sure, you can analyze it end to end, but you can start from the very beginning. You may see on that area actually is covered by equipment with certain capability that impossible to deliver the expected throughput before you come to the more detailed analysis. So by having this inventory data, you can make a profiling, high-level planning, asset management, and so on. And then later on, it can be source or data to facilitate maintenance, issues fixing, and strategic decision making. Just for sharing, at my previous experience, we have involved in project called BBC, Broadband City. The objective is to upgrade the grade of city that previously, let's say, you have Metro Manila. The quality of service, the grade of throughput is different with the another region in the Philippines. And we want to upgrade that another region, let's say for maximal minimum throughput can be achieved in Metro Manila, and with this new region must be the same. It means you need to upgrade. The program will start with a very basic assessment, the equipment capability, and then from planning and design, and so on and so on. And then it can be a strategic decision-making data. The decision can be equipment swap, equipment upgrade, and so on and so on. So this is just an example of why inventory data is important. So as a trainer, later on, please not only read the text on the slides. It's a simple slide actually, but please enrich this with the context. You can include your experience. You can include another insight from another angle of point of view. Okay. And then, okay, start from this. GM, you can jump in, please. You can share your screen. The end of this session, the purpose is I give you an assignment. Please collect this kind of table. Here we have parameters, radio code information, radio capability. The task for UGM is collect this information, then explain to us. Please, GM.
Okay, let me share. Okay, so checking inode B inventory showing this hardware class ID CI065. You have the software version in here.
Okay.
5.5.4.4.
Yeah.
And you have the manufacturing date of 2 years ago. I mean, 5 years? 2018 01
Yeah.
3001.
So,
We have a different date. So this is a different instance.
yeah, different instance.
That is SW1. Okay. And then You have the part number, the serial number.
Yeah.
You don't have the firmware version here.
Yeah.
Inventory, hardware, serial, and then you have this.
Part
So this is
number.
the RRU.
Yes.
Band 8 is 900, right?
Yeah.
And 46 dBm would be the output power.
Yes.
Okay. And you have here firmware version. I'm not
Basic
familiar
question.
with the .pkg.
Okay. Basic question. Very basic question, Jam.
Mm-hmm.
What is the power? 46
46 dBm.
dBm.
Mm-hmm.
Can you convert it into watt?
43 is like 20 watts,
Okay.
and
Good.
then you have 3 dB, which is half of that, so 40.
Yeah.
So we have 40 watts for this
Yeah. So
RRU.
you get the sense that 3 dB difference. It means double.
Double, yeah.
Double difference in watts. Okay. Good. Very good, Jam. Then.
Okay, and then you have the port 1 and port 2, band 8, 46, number of tenants is 2, LTE. So we have
Okay.
an LTE site here, or LTE
So if there
cell.
is a challenging question, GM. Okay, GM, I'm sitting on Node B or BTS that have 10 megahertz. Why I can get better throughput rather than on your BTS in the same megahertz bandwidth? I mean 10 megahertz bandwidth. It is the same. I have 4 antenna. Why it is different, the throughput with yours regarding to this information?
This would mean the
we
the
have
implementation of the
power.
massive input, massive input, massive output. So if you have MIMO, so you can double, or you can multiply the throughput by having more antennas.
Yes.
Even
So
if you have the same bandwidth.
Yes.
But in this case, this is only 2. Yeah.
Only
so this
2.
is the normal one, I think. Yeah.
So
the common implementation.
So if I am your boss, let's say, and you are the head of my planning department, then sometimes boss is bossy, right?
Pardon, with that?
Yeah, boss is bossy. Hi,
Yeah,
GM,
bossy.
what happens? What are you doing with your planning? Why I cannot get the same throughput that I get in the Metro Manila here? What we can say wisely is, boss, it's about budgeting actually to buy.
How much they can shell out.
Yes, because the equipment is actually different, and the capability to deliver the same throughput is absolutely will be different. So, like this, GM and the other participants, when we talk about technology training about 4G and 5G, sometimes we talk too sophisticated, and sometimes the participants is hard to understand. But actually, we can start from the very basic materials that everybody actually already have the foundation. Like if you talk to the education community, academe, you can start with what I did to you, GM. Please explain us what is 46 dBm in watts.
This is 40 watts.
Yeah, it is not something strange for the academe, right? But for the students, they often forget this. And I also mentioned in my my many sharing session about the 3 dB rules, because sometimes like network optimization engineers and also planning department engineers, sometimes they just take it easy because, oh, I need to power down the transmit power from 46 to 43. It looks small, right? 46 to 43. It looks small in number, not only 3,
Mm-hmm.
because they don't have the sense of the conversion to dBm to watts units. But if they have the sense, 46 to 43 is huge, correct, GM?
Mm-hmm.
Because it is from 40 to 20, right?
Yes.
It means, let's say it has 2 kilometers coverage, you will shrink this into 1 kilometers. It also means if it covers apartment, hotels, university, it means that you lowering down the penetration capability of that site to the building. Correct, Jim?
Yes.
So we can enrich our explanation, start from the very basic, try to relate with what the participants already has or understand. Let's say from this one parameters, power parameters. You can enrich this explanation with dBm to watt conversion.
Yeah, and also I think band 8 being a 900 band, it's low band.
Yes.
So it's farther and more penetrating indoors.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I think for the Philippines, operator MNOs are reforming the 900. Usually it's used for before it's for GSM, and then they started to use it for UMTS around 2000 and something, 2003 or something. Yeah, and then they're now reforming it to be used as L900.
Yeah.
So I think to give way to more penetration indoors
Yeah.
and serve LTE speeds indoors, because I think people now are not happy with 1 Mbps, unlike
Correct.
before that if you're given 300 kbps, you're very happy.
Yeah.
But now I think 1 MB or even 10 Mbps is not enough for some
Yes.
application. Mm.
And you can also bring this topic into more basic way, like the physical characteristics, the difference between 900s, let's say, with compare with 1800s, or compare it with 2300s in
Mm-hmm.
terms of planning. If, let's say, in one cluster of area, because I only have limited budget, but I need to have the coverage footprint there, which frequency I need to use, 900, 1800, or 2300 GM? What do you think?
Pardon, I didn't get that. Someone's calling, sorry.
Yeah, like this.
Uh,
Let's say we have one cluster, greenfield, no coverage at all.
mm-hmm.
I I only have money to build 10 BTS there
Mm-hmm.
to cover all.
Mm-hmm.
For sure,
10 sites for one cluster.
yeah, 10 sets for one cluster. And regarding the area, it has a very wide area. Which frequency will you choose or suggest? 900, 1800, or 2300 GM?
This is for the this is greenfield and in the rural
Yes,
area, right? The
rural
cluster.
area.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be choosing 900 for this one.
Why?
Because you have a scarcity of, for example, if you're trying to cover like one province, like for example Pampanga in the Philippines, and you have the budget is only for 10 nominal points.
Yeah.
So you plan for the more distance.
Yes.
The lower the frequency, the farther it goes. So I'll choose 900 so that it can cover all areas with minimal nominal
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
And by doing so, actually you are refreshing, especially when you present this to the student, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are refreshing their understanding
Yeah, the
about
path loss. Yeah.
the path loss,
Mm-hmm.
or even their the lesson on electromagnetic
Yeah,
topic,
that
right?
I think the wavelength versus
Yes.
the frequency. So C
Yeah.
over F, I think.
Because the case is, GM,
Mm.
we can get grade A on some topics in the university, but we never know the
Yeah.
purpose of the topic, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can
So you
try
have
to
to connect it to what they
yes,
know at the moment. Yeah.
connecting the dots, connecting the puzzle. So that's the point.
Mm.
Okay, thank you. So
Okay.
you can continue now. What
Okay.
else we have here?
So hardware details, and then you have the port. So yeah, so basically you know that you have 2-port antenna with 46 power and 900 using 900 frequency,
Yeah.
and you don't have the bandwidth, right?
Okay.
Do we have it? So I'm assuming this is 10 megahertz, right? Or no?
You can get the information on the next
Okay.
comment.
So this is only one. This is CSW inventory.
Yeah.
So the next is show uh profiles, hardware.
Okay, you need to get the hardware class ID information.
So this is CI, which
Zero.
is this one, right?
Right. Correct.
Okay. CI 0065. So now you have this. It shows you in watts already.
Yeah.
40 watts. LTE UMTS, two ports, band 8,
Mhm.
LTE, MIMO 2 by 2, yeah.
Two
Okay.
by two.
TM is 3. So,
This
and
is
this
the
one is
radio
radio
card.
card.
Yeah.
Radio card, I think it is a serial number, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. And you can staging up your explanation, especially with you talk to the participants that already have uh, quite sufficient technical background. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you can say to them, this is actually just some kind of SDR card
Mm.
that you can actually buy by yourself and build this one like this. SDR card you can get in the market, do your research with this. So you can build up the understanding because usually the understanding is fragmented, right? Oh, I'm a radio guy, but uh, like on this programming or open source things, and vice versa. But here in Open Run, it demand us if we are not very proficient in all area, at least you are strong in one area, but you also understand the another area. Let's say I'm a very radio guy. I know everything about what to dBm conversion. I know about part loss and everything. But how the equipment is made, you need to know as well. So by seeing this information, you can use this as a bridge for explanation to encourage them that actually we can build it someday in the Philippines as a local product because this is actually just an SDR card like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one is I mean a generic one in this.
Yeah, we can say
Anyone can, yeah, in the future.
actually anyone can start doing this
Mm.
by exploring a generic card. For sure, if you already go to the industrial stage, you need to modify this, make an as your own solution, right? Unique capability, unique feature. But as a community building, you need to uh, waking up to the every background of the participants. I mean, when you talk to the student, you need to encourage them that this is something that is not impossible to us to reach. Because previously, 4 years you study in the university, yes, we can get a grade A points, GPA 3 point something, but usually students never know what is the relation between the lesson they already get in the university. And also for the researcher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because as I remember on our the objective is try to wrap up all the community and hopefully can result in something. Let's say the Philippines local product or local solutions. So it's a long way to go, but I just can suggest we can do it in this way in the very basic GM. Because let's say if you deliver training directly, you can directly you present the 3GPP specification is this. And it looks sophisticated and too much to the participants. Okay, so the method that I already also practicing is starting slowly from the very basic, from each information we get from here, like what is the power, we can relate with the dBm and watt conversion, and we can also relate them with uh, the antenna uh, beam pattern theory and so on and so on. We can also relate this, what is MIMO, what is the difference, what is the impact to the throughput, and so on and so on. So that's the way to deliver the training. Yeah, you can continue, Jim.
Okay. So I'll go next. So, but I have a question. This one is the format is in tabular, right?
Yes.
Is there any reason why we are not getting that format?
On your screen, you mean?
Yes, I mean
Okay.
here in the, I mean here. It depends on the
Yeah.
CLI
So
or.
you can maximize your windows of mobile X-Ron, please.
Okay. I thought it's something. But it's still here.
You can repeat.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
So it's auto. I mean, it's okay. Got it. I thought you have to. Okay, because I need to show this one. Okay. Check bandwidth supported by radio. So basically asking to query this ORI, this
Yeah.
radio card. Okay, this SDR. Okay. Show tab profiles LTE card and then ORI dash KMW dash ENV 3240. So now shows the same information, two bands, two ports, G9, L, 900, band 900, 40 watts, MIMO
Okay.
2 by 2, and so basically you're having the same information,
Yeah.
but now you're seeing you have the minimum power and now you have the bandwidth.
Yeah. Is
Okay.
there any limitation for this equipment regarding
Uh,
the bandwidth? Yes,
yeah,
it is because it
it
only
you will have
support.
5
Yeah.
and 10. So this is a support, not necessarily the operating frequency.
Yes.
Okay. So you can set it either by 5 or by 10. But
Yeah.
for example, even if the company or for example the MNO has 15 megahertz in the
Yes.
spectrum,
Yeah.
they cannot use this SDR.
Yeah.
Okay.
So by acquiring this knowledge, you can avoid mispurchasing, correct, Jim?
Mm. Yeah, it all starts with the planning.
Yes.
If planning, we're using 15 megahertz. But I don't think we have 15 megahertz in the
Yeah.
Philippines for 900. So I
Correct.
think this is okay. 5 megahertz and 10.
Yeah. In point of view of planning, yes, it is right. But in the point of view that the network is already deployed, this kind of information can be a reference for evaluate the network, correct, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, for example, we have program to leverage or upgrade the city from ordinary city into broadband city, reflected on the minimum throughput can be achieved. Let's say from 5 to 10. We need to consider from the very basic, the equipment supported, and then the frequency license we have. So small information but big impact.
Mm.
And if you talk to the people that have background on a database, they have very good skills on database. What you can tell to them? They don't have any knowledge on radio part about bandwidth and so on, but they have very good skills on database. What you can tell to them?
With this kind of information,
Yes,
this one you can export and then parse, right?
correct.
It's parsable because you have like tab here.
Mhm.
So basically, you can import it as a CSV and then import it into the database, like
And
maybe SQL or a basic access file, Microsoft
yes,
Access, and then you have the dump, or you have the inventory. If
correct.
you have a lot of sites, right? So you
Yes,
can you can just run this, maybe a batch. Is it
batch command
batching is
possible.
possible here? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And batch everything and then dump it. Yeah, like a normal. I think in a normal project or in a normal
Mm.
MNO operations, they're dumping every day, so
Yeah.
that they can see the changes, right? So yeah, so someone, because I think for now you have the vendors, right? They have a specific XMLs and all that you
Yes.
can export, and they have their own tool. If you don't have
Yes.
their tool, you cannot export unless you're very good in parsing the data
Yes.
XML, right? But here, this is a basic text files. So maybe one person can do parsing tool,
Yes.
import it in a database like SQL or Access,
Yeah.
if not too much, and then anyone can do it, right?
Yes.
Because in the if I'm not mistaken, if this is the specific, if this is the actual format,
Yeah.
even if you have a different aggregator, uh, you can get, so that parser can be used anywhere,
Yeah.
and then you can dump here. So MNO can just get a guy who is
Yes.
very familiar with this, or even not a guy that doesn't know this, but very
Yes.
good in parsing.
Yeah.
So yeah, he can do it. So no need
Uh,
to be specialist
yeah.
specialist in the format.
And you can go further with data visualization.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in a very basic and old school way, like
Yeah.
visually do it in a thematic map.
Yes.
Yeah.
Either in QGIS or in map info, depending on the
Correct.
company.
And then you can see the profile of your network, which
Mm-hmm.
part that only have 10 megahertz equipment in maximum. It means that you have maximum throughput limitation there. It means also you only have 2x2 MIMO, right? JM, yeah.
Yes, only
Yeah.
two ports,
Then
2x2.
what we can expect from this cluster compared to the premium cluster in Metro Manila, let's say. So this inventory data find the importance here that as a decision maker, it can be a very important data to be their reference. Which cluster they want to leverage first as a priority, and then they will come to the how many budget they need to reserve, and can be a reference as well for the planning team. Correct,
Mm-hmm.
Jim?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So from basic information we get from this AI, you can talk to any kind of participants background. This is
Yeah.
just depends on. So we need to understand our participants background GM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So our material, our slides can be absorbed and digested by the participants. It's not only about reading the slide materials
Mm-hmm.
and waiting for the coffee break and
Mm-hmm.
the training is end. Okay, very good. Next, do you have something?
Okay. Yeah, from the previous combined CLI, command.
Yeah.
Then it can be collected with as follows.
Yeah.
So this is the previous commands, right?
Yeah.
So
This
here
check.
we can see that the enode B name would be here. So this one CSWS TRNG, CSWS1.
Correct.
Okay. What is TRNG? Is a place in Indonesia?
It's just naming.
Okay. I thought something in. Okay. And then hardware class, yeah, you have the CI 0065. So this would like be an enode B ID, right? Basically.
For hardware class ID?
Uh-huh.
No.
No. Okay. So this is just for the
Yeah.
the card. Okay.
SKU. SKU.
SKU. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. And then you have the version like 5.4.4.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the manufacturing date is January 31, 2018. So basic information. Then you have the radio card information, part number, or basically this the serial number, right? If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, it's the ORI KMWE ENB 3240. Same. And
Yeah.
then you have the firmware, which is ENBO 324. Okay, that
Yeah.
PKG. And then you have the serial number here,
Yes.
FE 08326. This is different 201. But yeah. And then the radio capability. I
Yeah.
think, yeah. This is important. You only have 2 ports, as shown
Yes.
a while ago. My MIMO 2x2. Port type is LTE UMTS. Maximum power of 40 watts. Yeah, because of 46. Band 900, band 8. And then limitation of you can only use 5 or 10 megahertz for this. And then the antenna mode is MIMO 2x2 and TM or transmission mode 3 is being used.
Yeah. Okay, on which part we can see the power capability in watts unit?
Pardon?
The power.
The power is being shown by the maximum power.
Yeah, I mean on which part on your CLI comment? We know that this is 4060 dBm, but how can we know this is 40 watts?
You can use, I mean, if you have background on telecommunication, 46, you know. But if, for example, you're a student or not that familiar, you can use the hardware profile.
Yeah.
I think it's here. This one, show profile hardware. And basically the 40 watts not being shown in the previous command is being showed here. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Yes, 40 watts.
Okay, so the information is sufficient enough as a basic database of your network, and never think that the thing is too small.
Yes.
Yeah. Because this kind of basic information, you can imagine, you can leverage the importance of this for doing planning, doing network assessment, and etc. You can go further with this. So, okay, thank you, GM. So that's all actually. And on the very last part, you can invite your participants later on if you have a training. Ask them to practice
how to get
by filling up this table. Yeah. So practicing experience is different with just listening, right?
Yes.
By practicing, you will have we call it muscle memory by doing it.
By so writing, typing.
By writing and typing. Because actually, the comment is simple. How many comments to get all of this thing?
What do you mean comments? The commands?
Yes.
Yeah, only have 3 commands, right?
3 commands actually.
3 commands, yeah, and you get everything.
Yes.
Actually, in one command, you can get almost everything except for the wattage conversion, which you can get in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know you are starting get the sense that actually you can get the information incomplete, everything in a shorter comment. The longer the comment is actually you try to query the data based on what you need only, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, okay, show profile.
So
Okay, access this. Okay.
yeah. Okay, GM, thank you for
Okay.
this session.